elimination final. Oh, hang on, I'm off again, is it?
Real guys, real sport, Bar TV.
Well, it's Old Boys Day here with Rowan Kelly. 4 in a row, you're on fire.
Oh yeah, mate, we're just looking forward to today's game against West. So, yeah, I mean, it means nothing the last few weeks, so we've got to put in a good performance today. So,
How do you beat 'em?
oh, well, hold the ball is probably a good start against them. They're playing for the minor premiership, so, I mean, they've got quality players all over the park. So, if we hold the ball, mate, we'll give ourselves every opportunity.
Good luck.
Thank you.
Thanks, mate. Easy as that. That's good. Well, it's Old Boys Day, and this is looking good, smelling good. What are you cooking up here? Cooking up a storm?
We're cooking well, mate. We're just looking after the customers as much as they're looking after us.
Try and get a shot of this if you can. This is unbelievable. How good does that look? Big crowd here today. Is this an annual thing?
No, I think it's been the last day in good weather, mate. I think it's all coming together for us, and hopefully we'll get the goods in first grade. So
4 in a row, you're on fire.
we are on fire. We've played well. We've sort of come back from a very slow start beginning of the year, but we're in the semis now, so anything can happen. Put it that way. So.
Good on you. Well, here we are in the press box on game day, and it's all happening up here. And sometimes you can find Terry Bryden. Terry, where are you? Oh, here he is here, everybody. Terry's been here at the club for a long time. He knows the history inside out, but you must be a very proud butcher boy today.
I am, Peter. We've got, we're going to give West a real shake this afternoon. We've won, is it 4-5 on the trot to get here? So yeah, I'm very proud. We're in the 5. So whether we win or lose today, we'll be playing Cessnock next week. But that won't take any away from our performance today. We're going to really stick it into these Rosellas today.
And mate, this is where you are. Have a look at this, everybody. This is Terry. Terry's also responsible for the halftime hooter. He's got the microphone duties, and he also does the team sheets. Jack of all trades. How long have you been here for?
I've been with the club close on 40 years. I've been doing this job for a couple of years now. There's a lot in this job, to keep the time, especially when you've got to keep all time out in first grade. Yeah, and then it's a busy little position up here on game day.
Fantastic. All right then. Well, we might head downstairs and check out what the crowd's got to say. Come this way. Thanks, Terry. Well, it's Old Boys Day today, and it doesn't get much more vocal than up here on the hill, eh, boys? Who's going to win?
The Butcher Boys!
So what's this all about? You've got the bin down here, you've got the cans flowing, you've got the tuies in hand. Just a day out?
Sauce.
Supporting the boys.
Old boys, old boys. Loving it.
What a year it's been for the Butcher Boys into the finals, huh?
It's been a roller coaster.
Been a bit of a roller coaster. And you've helped them come this far?
Yeah, 2 games. really been plying my trade this year, yeah.
Alrighty. So what's the points like? It's going to be a big score today. A win's a win.
Up by 20. Butcher Boys by 20.
Butcher Boys by 20.
That's it. Butcher Boys are going to win. Doesn't matter.
West kept a nil.
Yeah, that's it.
That's confidence. Alrighty then. Well, anybody you'd like to say at home to? Say hello to everyone.
Sportsman's Club, I'm not coming in this Arvo.
Apparently you've got a sick note, huh? All right then, well, we'll hand it back to the commentary box. We're not too far away from kickoff. It's the last premiership game of 2014. Well, 2014 might have been last year. I hope we haven't put too many people off. If anything, we've put our ages back a year, which can only be a good thing. Well, hello everybody, and welcome to Bar TV's live and exclusive last round coverage of the Tuies Cup of 2015. We're over here in Charlestown. It is the Central Newcastle Butcher Boys taking on Western Suburbs. They're going for the minor premiership. Western Suburbs this afternoon. As I say, good afternoon to Morgan Campbell. Good afternoon to you.
Afternoon, Peter. Well, Central find themselves in a luxurious position today. Who would have thought at the start of the season, or even halfway through the season, that on the last day they'd be almost assured of making the finals? They've had a tremendous run in the last 4 games. They've knocked off Cessnock, South, Lakes and Curry. this game loomed as their grand final, but in the end it's going to be a bit easier than that. As long as they can keep West to within 85 points, they'll be fine.
Yeah, well, I think they've got to make a statement today, Western Suburbs. Many good judges around town believe Wests are playing below their best. They do have a lot of quality players, but they are beatable. So West need a victory, as I said at the top, to secure the minor premiership for the third straight row. Central, well, they're through to the finals no matter what happens today, pretty much. As we see now, here's the kick off the boot of Brown, puts it along the ground, rolling back to the 30, picked up on the 20 out there by Bowen, and he comes back into the defensive line, and the Rosellas are there to meet him and bring him into the ground, 15 metres short of the halfway line. This is Bar TV with Morgan Campbell and Peter Jolly as we launch into the finals of 2015 next weekend. And don't forget the big grand final coverage coming out of Hunter Stadium, the home of the Jets and the Knights, on the last Sunday of September. But Central, Old Boys Day here today, big crowd in here. They're enjoying their barbecue. They're enjoying a few tuies up on the hill as well. And they think they've got it in them today to put it through the Western Suburbs. Rosellas come 80 metres. Let's see what they've got here in attack. They're going to kick off the boot now of War Boys. He bangs it downfield, picked up by Justin Smith at the back. He beats one, a bit of a high shot. First penalty coming up here for Western Suburbs here, Morgan. 15 metres out from their own goal line.
It was a good start by Central. I'll be happy with that. They had the best of the territory in the first two sets of the game. It's funny how things change, isn't it? At the start of this weekend, you would have thought today was more important to Central, but as it is now, they look pretty much certain of making the semis, and West need the win to get the minor premiership. It's just, I love it at this time of year, Peter, because points difference comes into it. It's when mathematicians come into their own, and now because Lakes won by 32 points yesterday, West have got to win today.
Well, I was going through the stats last night, and actually Western Suburbs, they caught me by surprise. For a team that's heading towards the minor premiership, they've only averaged 21 points per game. Now, coming into this competition round, they were on the same points actually, Morgan, in attack as Curry, while they've been able to only concede 16 points. So they have got the best defence in the competition. That goes without saying.
Yeah, they're absolutely miserly. And there's been a few games this year where they've given their opponent chances with the ball, but then just held them out. And that's been what their whole season's been based on, the defence.
So Ryan Petro, he's with the football. Last tackle now coming up for the Rosellas. They're going to go down the right-hand side. There's the kick. And out there, of course, it's Boney out there, feeling the ball for the home side in front of a very vocal crowd here today at Central. Of course, the club across the road coming into the ground. Many were coming out of the club. It's a bit of a... Oh, hello, there's a big tackle here. Play on, it's going to be close here for Western Suburbs. They're only 4 metres out. So they're under the pump here. They've got to defend grimly. Western Suburbs, the tackle count is restarted. It comes back away to Porter. It goes out now to Richardson. Richardson, the winger, is out there on the eastern side before he's going to be pulled down there by Bamblin. He'll play the ball back now. 5 in from that eastern touchline. It comes back through the middle of the field. Comes back then out of Mannion. He knows how to run straight and hard. And he's within about 8 metres of the goal line. Where's it going to come now? Western Suburbs again pressing. Deep back line here, but they've made it all look so hard for themselves. Joel Brown has just come up with the fumbles here. 12 out from the Butcher Boys goal line.
Yeah, I think he's got excuses there. The pass was a little bit behind him. I don't know what Central were doing there, coming off their own line, spreading it to the wing. They might want to knock that on the head. The pass across the face there to, I think it was the big forward, Josh Allison. And, well, he got absolutely crunched as he took the ball right at the line. Very dangerous game they're playing there. It might be the luxury they've got with this game not being quite as important to them today. But even so, they want to be a bit careful.
This is it on the Bar TV replay coming up right now. This is how Central have been able to get the ball back through that loose ball there. Of course, from their 5'8" in Joel Brown. And just quickly, former Australian and New South Wales Origin back rower Andrew Ryan pulled on the boots yesterday between Souths and Lakes. It was South's annual Sleepies Day down there at Townsend Oval. And of course, as everyone would know here in Newcastle, all funds go towards cancer research. And the word is this morning from Andrew Ryan everybody involved throughout the week, and of course yesterday, have raised more than $70,000. Just an outstanding achievement from everybody involved at Souths, and also Andrew Ryan. And Morgan, you actually called Andrew Ryan's game yesterday on Bar TV, and from what I'm hearing, there was a massive crowd, and Bob Catwell, he had a good game as well.
Yeah, he was pretty solid, I thought. He didn't look like a bloke who hadn't had a game for 2 years. He was very strong, made a couple of busts and was throwing the offload. It was like he was back playing for Canterbury. Very impressive, and I must say, for a bloke who was only having the one game for the year and coming for a guest stint, he played 55 minutes uninterrupted, so he really put his back into it.
Yeah, fantastic effort. Rosella's pressing down the western touchline here. They're 21 metres out from their opposition's goal line. Awaiting in a dummy half. Now it's Steve Gordon. He goes out wide, finds Brown. He turns it back on the inside, and now this is the number 10 in Ryan Petro. He's within 11 metres out from the goal line. Central defending maybe grimly here. Is it batten down the hatches for them as they go out wide now? Western Suburbs. Smith, he's got support. Back then out of Williams. He slices through. First try for Western Suburbs. Simon Williams goes over in the eastern touchline. 4-0, kick to come.
Well, South fans, if you're watching, 81 points to go. 81 points to go until you're back level on for and against.
Only 81.
Yeah, only 81, so maybe another 15 tries, but I know there'll be a few people at South Leagues keeping the candle flickering. But pretty simple try in the end. They just went wide, and Simon Williams, he was a bit too strong close to the line. The outside backs will be disappointed with the defence.
Well, as we said here, it was batten down the hatches for Central. They were back on their own goal line. As we go to the Bar TV replay here, just keep your eye on Knight. Good ball, wasn't it? Finding Tafua, and then it was through the back line, spreading it left to right. Even better pass there from Smith to find Simon Williams in the centre three-quarter. He's been no stranger to the try line this year as we come back to live shots now of Western Suburbs. Going back up their other end of the field now. Here's the kick coming up. Well, 5 metres in from a vocal crowd over there on the eastern side. They're on the Brian Cherry press box end of the field. They're calling it today Central Old Boys Headquarters. Here's the kick. Fast and furious off the boot, but waved away. So no change here after 8 minutes on the Bar TV scoreboard. It's Western Suburbs looking for the minor premiership, taking first blood. They lead by 4 points to 0.
Well, there's a bit of danger here today for Central. They've had this wonderful momentum. They've won their last 4 games and won them pretty well. And the trouble for them today may well be that West have got a lot to play for and Central don't have quite as much. It's possible that if they have a bit of a day off, they might lose a lot of that momentum. So I'm sure Rowan Kelly's been telling them to just keep the intensity up. They don't want to go into the semis on the back of a loss and have all the air go out of the balloon.
Well, Cruz Wilson, he's been injured. So they're just going to carry him into next weekend's finals. In to replace him is Sam Collins. There's no Brett Jarrett today as well. Jack McNamara. He's playing his first game when he comes off the interchange bench. He's played a bit of football for the Newcastle Knights in the under-20s, but having a crack for the first time here in the real NRL as well. As we mentioned, Central, they haven't been beaten since way back in the first weeks of July. They've won their last 4. They overcome Cessnock by 2. They powered past South by a margin of 26. They knocked off Lakes as we see a mistake at the back. Could be another try coming through. It was just a matter of who got there. Western Suburbs claiming the try to Peter Mannion. Referee's on his spot, looks at his touch judges and has no hesitation to award the second try of the afternoon to the Rosellas. 8-0 kick to come.
Souths fans, 77 points to go. It's on. They're almost 10% of the way.
Have to be some sort of record, wouldn't it?
It certainly would. Well, they made a bit of a bingle of that one, Central. Dear, oh dear. It was a pretty simple kick in the end, but a few fumbles and a good chase, a good intense chase from West. They all got down there and got a hand on the ball. So well played. We'll have a look at the replay, Peter.
It was a nice kick, wasn't it, again? Joel Brown, been in absolutely everything. He's the second highest real NRL point scorer as well. Bit of a collision at the back there.
I was probably a bit harsh on him, Peter. The ball did hit the post, Padham, and that can happen to anybody. So he probably the fullback Poor old Tom Morton, he's probably a bit unlucky there.
It was just like we were at the 10-pin bowling alley down the ground at Bennett's Green. Pins going everywhere.
Well, Porter was in there, but I don't think, and Mannion was in there, but I don't think it was him that got the hand on the ball. I'm not quite sure who that was through there. We can't just can't quite get his number plate when he got up, but...
well, it's an impressive sign heading into the finals if they can keep it going.
It's a good sign for the coach when you've got 3 blokes going for the ball like that. If they're all getting there, they're all turning up. So they'll be pleased with that. 10-0, 75 to go.
Well, they're keeping up with the clock. A point a minute here at Central. It's been a fast start.
Come on, Central. You mentioned, Peter, about the fact that Central haven't lost since July. That's one of the unfortunate things about this season, that since July there's only been 4 games. And, well, it's been such a hocus, such a...
And of course, the Newcastle...
Swiss cheese kind of season, isn't it?
It's been a bit of stop and go, hasn't it? But the Newcastle Rugby League Board, I understand, met last week to change things around for next year. So they're just in the early stages of deciding how many rounds and how many buys. They'll take that proposal, I guess, back to the clubs, and hopefully we'll be able to agree on a relatively good outcome for 2016.
Yeah, my understanding is they came to an agreement on 16 games for next year. I'm not quite sure how they're going to work that out, because obviously it'll be uneven. I actually proposed, my suggestion didn't get up, I proposed a 17-game season where after the full 2 rounds, the top 4 and the bottom 4 split apart and each played each other once. That unfortunately didn't get up, but I understand West did present that at the meeting, which I've got to tell you I was quite proud of. It's not often that a Cessnock boy gets a hearing in the corridors of power at West, so there you go.
Maybe open ears.
Maybe next year.
Maybe next year. If it doesn't happen next year, Morgan, maybe the year after.
Yeah.
And then just keep on going until it happens. 30 metres out from the line. This is Morton. He takes it down to the 40-metre line. Well, we haven't seen them having the pendulum swinging to them, have we? Inside the Western Suburbs half, especially in attack. If you're looking at the stats right now, it's going to change shortly as we see a penalty coming up. But I'd say it's been all West by a margin of 90% at least. So referee here, Stair, just marching a few orders. There we go, there's the indication there. Bit of a shot off the shoulder there as we see the ball coming off the boot there of Ethan Cook. Is going to find the press box area. Look out.
I reckon he's...
Terry. He's already had one shock this afternoon, Terry, when we sprung him with the camera.
Well, I reckon Ethan Cook will be stoked with that kick for touch. He made at least 5 metres. Dear, oh dear.
In other words, you're saying maybe just take the tap and you would have made 20?
A bit too much hook on it, I think.
Well, this is their time now with the ball. This is Collins. He takes the shot there of Shillings. 31 metres out from the Rosellas line. We're live, we're exclusive. This is the Newcastle Rugby League. This is the 13 in McBain losing it. Well, few unforced errors creeping into them.
Yeah, it's how they play, isn't it? And some days that's going to work and some days it isn't, but they've got a big pack of forwards and they love to force the offload. And, if you're going to make mistakes doing that, the last game of the regular season when you're pretty much safe probably isn't a bad day to do it. But I think the importance of the Central is probably not to change the way they play because it's been working for them.
Well, again, I mean, if you look at the stats, there's not that much separating them.
Well, they've got
apart
this one
from
back.
Points. 19 in attack. They've been able to get across the line in 21 compared to 21 and 16 for the Rosellas. So there's only a try between these both sides, but I guess one's playing for the minor premiership. And next week, Central are playing to stay in the finals, possibly against Cessnock, as they come on the attack, looking for the try, and they're going to get it!
Well,
Ethan Cook has absolutely carved them up. That's the try they needed to get back into the match, and that's exactly what the doctor ordered.
Well, that looked slick, didn't it? That was some really sharp movement through the hands there. And by the time Ethan Cook got the ball, they had them going backwards. That was lovely play from Central. That'll be very pleasing to the coach.
Well, that's a positive, definitely a positive, as we just spoke about. They haven't been down this end of the field at all. Territory inside Western Suburbs half has been at a low of 10%. And to be able to come up with this play here, look at this, perfect play. Cook, no fear whatsoever, crashes over in front of his home fans.
Yeah, I think the timing was just right on that. It looked very nice, and I think it was McBain there who got the ball in his hands, held it up, and just as he got to the line, snapped the pass out the back to Ethan Cook to stride through. Very nice bit of play. And a worrying gap in the defence there for West.
Well, a worrying sign for Western Suburbs. First time they've really had the opportunity to strike, and they've been able to come away with 100%. So here's the opportunity now for the goal kicker in Bamblett. He's Central's highest point scorer this year. Picked up 6 tries, 12 goals, a personal tally of 48 points. This to bring up his half century, if you can say that, in the game of rugby league. Staring down the post. 15 in from that Western touchline. 5 off the right of the post. Looks okay. He's going to bring it back around with the breeze. He's brought up 50 for his own personal tally. 4-point ball game here. 15 minutes gone here at Central.
That was a funny looking kick of goal, wasn't it? Had a bit of the old Kurt Gidley reverse fade on it. I think that's a lovely tribute to the great man who's retiring this week.
It's good, Goodley. Couldn't go out a winner last night, but a winner in his own right.
Yeah, we're not talking about that, Peter.
Do you want a refund?
My mate's got a season ticket. It didn't cost me anything.
Oh, I should have known. Freebie Morgan Campbell. Got to love these counsellors from Cessnock as they now pass the 20-metre line.
There wasn't any of that.
No catch for comment. Okay, we'll let you off the hook there. Allison, good ball. Here they go again. Bowen's down the sideline. He got it back to Allison.
hang on.
Crunching tackle.
Hang on. Steve Gordon came through there a bit late and collected Allison there. I don't know if he meant it. I think he just came into the tackle, but I wouldn't be surprised if Allison's copped a hip or a shin or a knee to the head.
Well, look at him on his back. He doesn't know where he is. We might be able to come up with the replay here. We'll start it from the 40, Central's own end of halfway. This is where all the action started as we roll the replay right now. Take a look at this. Allison
Yeah, that's
caught
it.
that.
Whack.
And he's down. Certainly not here at Central Newcastle.
Just came straight over the top of his head there, Steve Gordon. It was a bit rough. He, not surprised the referee had a word.
We had a word, but nothing else has pretty much come of it yet, has it?
No, it hasn't. It might be a penalty, I suspect, but
Well,
yeah, they're lining up as if it's going to be a penalty.
Well, they've got our referees here next to us as well, so hearing our call, and they're also ticking off a few boxes for the referees' appearances as we head into the finals. Going to be an interesting decision who they go with for the big grand final. That will be a tough call. Of course, Stairs here today. Could it be him? Of course, he's one of the most experienced. He's up there in the top 2 anyway in the game, but a real concern here. We've stopped the clock as well here at Central with 22 minutes and 52 seconds to go in the clash, as he's going to be assisted now. Allison off the park. And you'll hear the crowd giving him a round of applause. Big season in 2015.
He has had a good season. He's a big, strong bugger. He's a real weapon out there for Central. They'll be hoping that he's okay. But he looks a bit wobbly on his feet as he goes from the field. He's needing a little bit of help from the trainer. So that's a bit of a nasty incident, that. I suspect Steve Gordon probably didn't mean it, but a bit of a sickener for poor old Josh Allison.
So replacements coming onto the park right now. Coming on is Terry Collins. Just waiting now for Allison to come from the field. So they've come down here once and they've come away with the points. Are they about to do it for the second time? There's the kick and the touch. He finds the line 12 metres away. So they'll take the tap and get the legs pumping. Morton does exactly that. This is Cook. Takes it down to be tackled. 12 metres out from the opposition's goal line. Who wants to come onto it now? This is Terry Collins. Fresh off the interchange bench. Delaney works it to the right-hand side of the park. Back to Cook. Dangerous. He wants the ball at every opportunity here on Old Boys Day. Trailing only by 4. the minor premiers the last 2 seasons. Are they about to get it again, Western Suburbs, at the end of this match? They're going to be in for one hell of a fight. Ricocheted, ball's on the ground. Referee has said come back here for a knock-on, as Richardson was going to set sail down the other end of the park.
They'll be grateful for that. They wouldn't have caught him either. But it's referee stare. He said it's a West knock on there, so Central are going to get another go at them. Hasn't the momentum changed in this game? West came out looking very fearsome and put a couple of tries on, but Central have come back hard.
Well, both of these sides clash back in round 7 a long time ago, and it doesn't mean absolutely anything today. The Western Suburbs at Harker Oval down the Butcher Boys by a margin of 24 points to 0. And you just get the sense not going to be a margin like that come 80 this game. If the intensity can stay at this, welcome to finals football maybe a week earlier. As the Rosellas, good tackle there on Gordon, wasn't it there?
Bit of a weird one there. The referee, I was sure that the referee said West knock on, but he's given the ball to West, so he might have either changed his mind or might have misheard. But West got the scrum feed, as you would have seen.
So Warren Shillings will get up and play the ball slowly. They come the commentary side. Comes back to Williams. Big palm. Can't get away there from Delaney. It's the last tackle now for the Rosellas. Look for the kick into the back end of the park. They're going to go high. Pressure kick. They're coming through. Bit of a collision at the back. Rosellas get it back. It's play on. And Western Suburbs are under the post. Well, you create your own luck, and that's exactly what happened here for the Rosellas.
Well, big Ryan Petro, he might have just saved himself a bit of embarrassment on Mad Monday there. I don't know if he's had a try this season. I don't remember seeing him have one in the games I've seen at Western Suburbs, but there you go. Just hoiking the ball up in the air. It's one of those situations. You buy a ticket in the lottery, occasionally it comes up for you, and that time it just came up for West. They're under the posts.
And the crowd just probably can't believe what they've seen there, but we'll have a look on the Bar TV replay. Again, it was the brilliance of the kicker, the 5'8" in Joel Brown. He has no fear to hoist these kicks as high into the blue sky here as possible. Take a look at this. This was going up there. This was close to Mars.
Just seeing that replay there, I reckon there was a bit of a question mark over whether Ryan Petro was onside. He looked like he might have been a yard in front of Joel Brown there, so they might have got away with one. West. Let's have a look here. What do you reckon? I reckon he's in front there.
Not much in it as
Only
the kick
just.
goes sailing over the black dot here. Could have a point there. This is the try under the post. So Morgan Campbell casts a little bit of doubt on that try. I know for one thing, if you were there, that wouldn't have been a try. That's for sure. Here we go, back to halfway.
To be fair, Peter, it did need a replay for me to see it, so I'm not being too critical.
Morgan Campbell, he'll be with us throughout the 2015 Real NRL Final Series. 4 weeks of action-packed rugby league coming your way, so don't miss anything as this is Tafua. Rowan Kelly, the oldest on the park for Central. Couldn't quite bring him down. Out to the 40-metre line they come. Rosellas, quick play the ball. It comes back to out of Shillings. He charges back to the halfway line. Put away there by Kelly. He'll play the ball back now. They go from left to right. Where's it going to come this time? They're just testing their arm through the middle, aren't they? This is Petro, and he takes the dusty turf there. 45 metres out. Now it comes back to Richardson. What can he do? He is experienced plus, of course, country first player. One of many experienced players going around here in the Western Suburbs side. Rowan Kelly says, hey, you're not going to sprint this pass any past me. I'm going to knock you into the ground flat as. Last tackle now. Where is it going to go again? Back to Brown. Cuts out one. He finds Gordon. Gordon's on the last tackle. He's got to throw it. He does. Back to Herman. Great pass out the back to Lamb. He puts it on the toe. Lamb's coming through along with Brown. They might wrap him up in goal. I think they will. It's going to be a goal line dropout. Well, Western Suburbs looking impressive there.
Yeah, they did look good there. Bit of chucking the ball around. You mentioned at the start of the show, the start of the broadcast, they haven't scored as many points as a lot of the teams in the Real NRL, but they showed a bit of attacking flair with that move.
Well, that was just class.
You can just hear, by the way, Peter, your mates up there that you interviewed before the game.
My mates.
They're making a bit of racket up there. They're giving. I think there's about 50 experts all giving a bit of coaching advice to the Central players beyond the goal line.
Well, I said to them, boys, it's all good, you know, going up there on a bright Sunday afternoon with a few Chewies cans. But I said, there's a garbage bin down there. Why don't you bring that up and put the cans into the bin? No, I thought they'd use it as the drum.
Yeah.
But not. Can't hear it though.
They got the boombox going as well. It's like the King Street Hotel here today.
On a Sunday night. As we see now, the ball comes back to Porter. He gives it away to Brown. Great ball to Herman. 2 metres out again. Leading by 16 points to 6. This is Shillings. Popped it out the back to Knight. Quick hands. Had to be. Gordon. He steps. He weaves. He's got support. Back to Herman. Well, they need to put the ball carrier down. Tafua. Nobody's going to stop the biggest prop in the real NRL. He goes underneath the post. And Western Suburbs, they extend their margin, do they? By 20 points to 6 on the Bar TV scoreboard. Listen to the boos from the boys up there behind the posts.
Yeah, well, there you go. Both the props are off the nudie run. I think Mark Tafua might have a try already this season, but he's gone over for one there. It's not often you see. We've had both the props score tries in the first half. What a beautiful time to be alive.
Well, Mark Tafua, he doesn't score many, but when he does, it's absolute class, as you're about to see right here on the Bar TV scoreboard. But this was just all about support play and backing your man on the inside for support. It went through about 8 sets of hands from where we're going to roll the replay, which is pretty much right here. Take a look at how many sets of hands this went through. Let's count them, Morgan. It must have been at least 8. Now, this is the first one. That's 3. We won't bore everyone to tears with a mathematical equation, but that's 6, 7, 8, and ironically, the number 8's got the try. Well, how good's that?
Yeah, good bit of play. Terrific bit of play. And as we've said a couple of times, they're not one of the most exciting teams to watch a lot of the time, West, but they're showing plenty of attacking intent today. And for those of you watching at South Newcastle Leagues Club today, I should mention the margin, the points needed, 71. So, you know, it's counting down. If this kick goes over, you'll be into the 60s.
Lucky we know how to count. We'd be in trouble.
There you go. 69 points until Souths are in the finals.
69 points. Morgan Campbell, stats extraordinaire. That's why he's here in this Bar TV box. That's for sure. And you'll hear a lot more of Morgan doing his play-by-play over the next 4 weeks right here in the real NRL as we count down to the big one. As I said, grand final day for the first time in a long time as we've taken it away from the number 1 sports ground. We've broken with tradition for the first time this year. People are pretty much, I'd say the majority are for it. We'll find out on the last Sunday how the stadium looks, but I guess in this day and age it all comes down to a financial surplus, and if they can get it, why not take it there? This is Tafua, the big try scorer.
Look, I do like going to games at number 1 sports ground, but I will say it will be nice to go to a game on grand final day without having to take a litre of sun cream.
It will be. You'll be in the commentary box.
Yeah, one of the best places in the world to get sunburnt, number 1 sports ground. It's unbelievable.
Well, you're not getting sunburnt today. We're here in the freezing cold with a bit of a wind coming out of the south, Morgan, that you'd expect every time you come here. So it's behind the west side, isn't it?
It certainly is, but you're right. I've been here a few times this year, and every time I do, it's blowing a gale and it's freezing cold. So
you're telling me the slip, slop, slap campaign from Cancer Australia doesn't quite work when you rock up to the number 1 sports ground on grand final day? Well, that could be interesting.
I think it's more that I forget to implement it, Peter. That might be more the problem.
Probably too expensive to buy. It has gone up a little bit, 50 plus, 80.
Look out.
Here they go, out they go. This is the touchline where it's all happening over there in front of the Central Old Boys headquarters. You can hear the chair go up.
Yeah, I think Liam Boney over there, they got hold of him and threw him into touch. Plenty of intensity today from West. One of the big things for them, of course, we talked earlier about the draw. The way things have gone over the last few weeks, they had a game in round 13. Then they had a week off. They had a week off, sorry, they had a game in round 12, then they had a week off, then a game in 13, another week off, a game today. And if they win the minor premiership, which at the moment looks likely, they'll have another week off. And if they win in week 2 of the finals, they'll have another week off.
And if they win the grand final, then they'll have 6 months off.
But they've been playing basically every 2 weeks, and I can't imagine that's good for the harmony and the combinations in the team and for everybody staying match fit.
Time will tell. This is Shillings. Picked up, but he's got a good offload in him. Back to Brown. The 5'8" been everywhere, as I said. The personal tally of 38 individual points is the second highest point scorer on the real NRL highest points list this year. So he's up there. Will probably finish second. As the ball comes out wide, back to Gordon. Great ball. This is Lamb. They tried to push him in a touch, but it didn't quite go the way Central wanted it to execute it. Another try to the Rosellas.
65.
Thank you. 65 for the viewers that have just tuned in. 65 till what?
65 till Souths are in the semis.
Looking better. Betting man, do you put your house on it? I don't know. I
will say though, West, they're putting on a bit of a score here. They look very dangerous every time they've got the ball, and they're carving Central up at will. So plenty of danger. And this is one. They're looking very ominous heading into the semis. We've got the replay here, and again, pretty simple bit of play, but they dragged Kaylee Bowen a long way infield there to give the space to Ryan Lamb. So a good backline move.
Ryan Lamb. Him and Richardson. Lethal combinations. Well, not a combination, but on the opposite ends of the wings, left and right. And Ryan Lamb, of course, he's only a youngster. He's only 21 years of age. He was the youngest going around in last year's grand final against Cessnock.
Very impressive piece of finishing, I thought there. He had a bit of space down the touchline, but just as he got to the try line, he had a bit of interference and managed to ride the tackle and get the ball down inside the corner post. So well played, Ryan Lamb. Can, of course, be one of the differences, can't it? The ability to finish a try over in the corner. We saw a terrific one yesterday from Matt Craig from Lakes United, who scored a wonderful try against South. And wingers now are so good at dancing with the corner post and getting the ball down.
So Steve Gordon will have this attempt. Coming around. Well, if you heard in the background those boos, that was coming from the guys up on the hill. It's creating great atmosphere here in the Newcastle Tooheys Cup.
I don't know if they're creating great atmosphere or creating laryngitis. Dear, aren't they giving some to their throats with those? That was very, very loud. There's only about 40 of them over there, but it sounds like about 1,000.
You keep an eye on the boom boom box because they might be going into their customary position of karaoke. They like a bit of that up there too, Morgan, when you come here.
That would add something to the second half, wouldn't it? What a wonderful innovation for St John Oval. I could see that coming on full time next year. Crowd participation.
Well, they've already got tickets for the real NRL grand final, so the boom boom box might be coming to Hunter Stadium. Right next to where you're going to be seated.
I think, if you've seen the size of it, I'll have to buy an extra ticket.
So Westland Suburbs in control here in the first half on opposition soil, right in the middle of the park. Again, attacking the edge. They're looking for Richardson. This is Mannion. 5 metres inside. Central territory. Here's the kick off the bit of Porter. Towering kick. He's trying to clean the boom boom box up there. That's where the ball landed, right next to the boom box.
Well, I don't know if we caught it on our picture there, but the Butcher Boy mascot's turned up over there. Dear, now he is a ferocious looking fellow. He's about 7 foot tall and carries around a big meat cleaver. We might try and get him in the
there
shot.
He is right
there
now.
He is. Dear, oh dear. Imagine him coming after you. Actually, when we were here in round 1, when Central played Maitland, there were a couple of kids at the front of the grandstand, and this fellow started chasing them, and I've got to tell you, the look of terror, I couldn't help but sympathise. I was almost trying to back off myself because, he's a fearsome-looking character.
He's in all his element. And it's great to have mascots in the Newcastle Rugby League. We should see more of it.
Mascots and club songs, Peter. We love them.
And Jody also here, the mayor of this part of the world, supporting her beloved side today as well. She loves her scarf.
Doesn't miss many games.
She made it herself, you know, that scarf.
Is that right?
Because she was saying that she wanted one, she couldn't find one, so she threaded it up, and she's done a good job, hasn't she? Just like this man at the back, Justin Smith, he's trying to thread the line, but he's been crunched. 10 metres out there from Dean McBain. Now, back to Richardson. Run straight at Warboys. Warboys assisting in there with Shane Ryan as well. Ryan gets off Richardson. Again back to Mannion. Runs back again at Warboys. And also Zach Hosking. Now they look dangerous. They cross the halfway line with power and enthusiasm. That was Simon Williams. Now back away to the right-hand side. This is Porter. He links up with Mannion. They throw it back on the infield. Bit of razzle-dazzle here from the Rosellas. Looking after, go for a minor premiership today, and so far they probably will secure that if things keep going the way this is going. This is Bowen. Bowen Crossfield. What's happening here?
We've got the mascot walking across.
He was looking at you.
Oh, I tell you what, Pete, if I wasn't commentating, I'd be out in the car.
I was going to say, if you weren't commentating, you might have been underneath all that.
If I wasn't here with the microphone, I'd be out in the car and getting out of here. Dear, oh dear.
Do you owe him money? Ticket from last night at the NRL, I reckon. As now they solid out here. Look at this. Numbering up, and Ryan Lamb, the last try scorer from the Rosellas, in there. And look at that, a bit of banter between him and Allison as he got to his feet. Now back to Morton. Now an interesting stat. Tom Morton hasn't lost a match with the Butcher Boys since he had his hamstring injury. Great hands away to Bowen. He's down the sideline. Bowen's got support. It's on the toe. It's play on, but it's gone into touch in goal.
Well, a little touch of class there from Ethan Cook. That was a beautiful bit of play. They just went down the short side. I think we'll get the replay in a moment. But ducking down the short side, they've tried that little snipe down there a few times today. But the little tip on, he didn't have time to even catch and pass. He just had to move it on straight away. There he goes, straight to Josh Allison. And they were off down the right. But some good covering defence from West as well to get there as we have a look on the replay.
Just keep an eye on this.
Look at that.
This was freakish.
He had it and then he didn't have it anymore. Beautiful.
Keep an eye on this. He was going to tackle him. Now the kick off the boot there of Cook, but just too much on it.
He looks eager to get involved, Ethan Cook, doesn't he? Watching him earlier in the season, he didn't get his hands on the ball as much as he has today. He looks really keen to make a mark on the game. And that's a worry for other sides in the real NRL, because as you see there, he's got plenty of talent.
So we've got 4 minutes to go here on the official scoreboard. This is Reggie Saunders. He'll run it up all day. Back through the middle. Porter goes himself. Smith, good hands. Williams. 8 metres out from the line. Last tackle now for the Rosellas. Look for the little kick into the end goal area. Was touched. Did it go backwards? It might have been a knock on. They've played it at their central. Danger period with 3 minutes to go before the break.
Yeah, Dean McBain there. He's got a fair way to come down to pick a ball up off the ground and just got the fumbles.
And don't forget, get in contact with us here via Twitter this afternoon for the last premiership game of the Newcastle Tuies Cup. You can do that by hashtagging RealNRL. Alternatively, hashtag BarTV Sports. If you've got a stat for Morgan Campbell, he's the man to put it to. He knows everything in the game of Newcastle Rugby League. What are we up to? 61 points, you mentioned. Williams down the sideline.
65, Peter.
65. Play on, Richardson. Denied. Stare. West's knock on here. Well, a sigh of relief for the Butcher Boys there, because it was battened down the hatches right there before the break.
Well, they held on well. It was a bit of a mistake there from West, but again, they look dangerous going wide. They've been spreading the ball a lot more than they usually do. ordinarily a lot of their attack comes through the middle and they try and barge over with those front rowers, but they're really using the backs at every opportunity today, and maybe that's a sign of how they're going to play it in the finals.
So 20-point margin. Finals on our doorstep. Each week, RTV will be there. Multi-camera coverage. Live referee mic. Player interviews, coaches interviews. We've got the lot right here, just like this man has got. When he produces a good run like that, that was Bowen giving it back to now to Sam Collins. 10 metres out from the halfway line. Again, interchange player in 14. Of course, that's Shane Ryan. Second eldest out there behind Kelly. Spinning it to the Ferris Field end of the park. 10 metres in from that touchline. Not long to go before the break. 1 minute, in fact. McBain's got it. Comes out the back. They're keeping it alive. Bowen wanted it. Couldn't quite get it. Last tackle now for the Butcher boys. Comes back away now to McNamara. This is War Boys. High to the air. The ball may go straight down the throat. It's popped out. Could be play on if Central can get it back. Came off West's. Stairs said, well, he was right in the thick of that moment. So it's scrambled back down, and they want to get on with it quickly here, the Butcher boys, because they're going to go on the attack here, Morgan Campbell, with 35 seconds to go in the match in the first half.
Well, he's done well to decipher what happened there, Graham Stair, because it seemed like it was a bit of a bun fight. There were hands going after the ball everywhere, but he managed to work out that it was a West knock on. I'm inclined to believe him. He had a better view than I did.
Better down.
So the clock has stopped
On the whistle.
with exactly 28 seconds to go.
Get in.
Telling him to get it in there. Now to Cook. He's going to kick. Flying through is Morton. Oh, Morton can't quite get there. The intention was right, but Ryan Lamb got there in the nick of time and sent it over the dead ball line.
Well, he's unlucky there. The kick was well and truly on there for Ethan Cook. Morton knew that it was coming, but he just got the very high bounce there just when he didn't want it, and it bounced over everybody's head and over the dead ball line. And, well, the players have declared a truce. They've seen enough. They're all waddling off the field. So I suppose that's half-time.
That's what they call half-time. Rowan Kelly takes his Chargers back into the Keelan Pavilion for the last time in 2015. Down by a margin of 20-odd points at the break. So Western Suburbs in control to take the minor premiership. But we've seen a lot of things in rugby league, funny things, but today we'll need to see something quite miraculous if the Butcher boys can get back into this match, because so far after 40 minutes the Rosellas are here to play. So what we might do, we might take a break and come back for the second half here. This is the Newcastle Tooheys Cup, live and exclusive right here on Bar TV.
Real guys, real sport. Bar TV.
Here's your story, let's begin. The water's fine, come on, dive in. The future's here, it's right before your eyes. Step by step, you're on your way. Welcome to a brighter day. Don't you know it feels good to be alive? You could be larger than life, bigger than the world, living out the hopes and dreams of every boy and every girl. You could fly higher than the sky, shine brighter than the stars. You could have all you ever wanted, shoot the moon and reach for Mars. You know you could.
Well, we're back for the second half right here on Bar TV Sports. Thanks for tuning in to our coverage here this afternoon, whether you're watching our coverage on your laptop or in your lounge room at home or even in one of the newsrooms, taking our pictures to write your story. Welcome you to our coverage as we head into the final series of 2015. I don't know about you, but this season, although it's been stretched out, September already. We love September, don't we, Morgan? Love it.
Yeah, we do. We certainly do, and there's going to be some good footy over the next couple of weeks. Interesting game this today.
Who's your smoky for the comp?
Macquarie. Macquarie are my smoky for the comp. I reckon they're a better chance than people realise. They play really good footy and they score points against whoever they play against. They've averaged close to 30 points a game, rain, hail or shine. So I think they're a big chance this season, although the way Wests are playing today, if they play like this every week in the semis, nobody will get near them because they've been really impressive today. It's like they've switched on for the semis, and that has to be a worry for everybody else in the competition.
And of course, throughout the week, news filtering across Newcastle that Craig Barney Miller is still talking to your team, Central Cessnock Goannas, to see if he can go around again next year. Of course, he's got a new job up in the Hunter. So it'll be interesting to see if he can still keep on coaching, because he's one of the game's best, hasn't he? Isn't he?
Yeah, my understanding is he's not going to take the job next year. He's looking at the rep job, but his work commitments aren't going to allow him to full-time coach. So Dan Smales, the reserve grade coach, is going to take that job.
Yeah, he's after the Rebels. Let's see if Bamblett can spin away. Beat one, beat two. Well, they've just got to forget about the scoreboard here, Central, and click in the gear early on. They need a good start. This is their time. This is McBain out the back. Good hands, wasn't it, there from McNamara? He offloads the pass. Morton gone without it. Picked up by the Rosellas on their own goal line.
Well, they had a bit of work through the hands there. There were a couple of terrific passes. Ethan Cook threw one of them. But there was a big appeal from the West's players for a shepherd or an obstruction there. The referee didn't see that, so they would have been sweet over on that right-hand side if they'd kept it in the hands. But just got the fumbles late on there. But a good bit of attacking play again there from Central. And certainly, whatever's happened today, they haven't had any trouble creating chances.
It's going to be a magnificent feat if Western Suburbs can take this premiership at the back end of September, going for 4 straight wins here in the Newcastle Rugby League competition. Of course, they've been able to do it the last 3 years under the guidance of now Cessnock coach Craig Barney Miller. But are they about to go for 4 in 4 weeks' time? This is Tafua. Takes it a bit in the centre of the ground. Quick play to ball. Away now to Warren Shillings. Giving it away to Brown. He takes them to the halfway line.
Interesting point to Josh Allison, who came back on late in the first half after that injury. He's now gone back off again. It's no great surprise. I don't know that they would want to be risking him if he has copped a head knock, particularly a week out from the finals.
Of course, if things go to plan, next weekend, the team that you're seeing in attack right now will be heading up to Cessnock to take on the Goannas. Sudden Death Rugby League. Team bows out next weekend for the season. Old Boys Day here. Crowd in the vicinity of 1,500. Good turnout by the locals. Jody Harrison, of course, coming along for the ride, who's one of our local politicians in this area. Loves to come out here on a sunny day, and a wet day for that matter. Picked up and dumped. All legitimate. So it's the last tackle now for Central. Look for the kick. Ethan Cook goes high. Ball's going to go in between the fullback and the winger there. And they see it go sailing up onto the northern hill here at Central Charlestown. So back out to the 20. Tap restart to the defending premiers. They take the tap, 20 metres out. Spinning it to the left. Defense coming through, and they're going to bumble him into touch, possibly. Referee has said, wow, why didn't I blow my whistle? Because I thought from my vantage point that you were going to go tumbling into touch. But somehow, they've stayed on the field of play. Now this is Saunders being pushed back towards his own in-goal area. 20 metres out. You're going to spin it. They got confidence. Mannion taking the shot there of Hamblett. And also War Boys. They attack the commentary side. This is Williams. Delaney combining with Bamblett over the top here. 15 metres short at the halfway line. Mannion sending it back through Smith. Now the prop is with it. Tafua picked up one of 4 tries in the first half. The last premiership round of this competition. Back to big Reggie Saunders to the halfway line. Last tackle. They're going to bang it off the boot of Knight in towards the in-goal area. They're going to play at it possibly. No. Ball decides to have one last trickle and goes dribbling over that dead ball line.
Well, interesting defence there from Central. There was a bit of intent in all of that. West had the 20-metre tap, and yet in the 7 tackles that they had, as a result of that, they could only get to the halfway line. So Central will be very pleased with the way they came up and whacked them a couple of times there. Just showed that they haven't given up on this today. I would imagine they might have got a razz from Coach Rowan Kelly at half-time, just to make sure they don't drop it too much here today. And, you don't want to be going into the semi-finals on a low like this if they cop a touch-up. So very important they keep the momentum going.
Good hands. Good flick pass back to Kelly. That's a highlight. Brilliant rugby league. Here they go. McNamara. As I said, first game in Butcher Boys colours. Came across from the Newcastle Knights in the under-20s. We're getting a lot more touches over the next few weeks if he keeps this incredible effort up that he's displayed off the bench here today.
Chasers are good.
Chasers are good. Smith will look up at those chasers, but he's been able to beat one of those chasers. But he can't get rid of the man we just spoke about in McNamara. Gordon.
Very important to tackle that one. He got him round the ankles, and if he hadn't done, I reckon Justice Smith might have been looking at the post there.
Richardson offloading. Here they go. They're about to cross the halfway line. War Boys is chasing, and they drag them into touch. About 35 metres out. Richardson wants it. He's got it. Quick hands. It comes back down to Mannion. Great ball. Williams. He'll step. He'll weave. And he'll be crunched 4 metres out from the home side's goal line. Back it comes down to Richardson. Finding Smith. Giving it away to Porter. Elusive. Creates a gap. And this is Herman. 2 metres out. He offloads the ball. He wasn't held. Referee's going to award the try. Well, they've carved them up.
I don't know if he did offload the ball, but I think he just that he wasn't held and he just got up and went again. And referee Stair said that was all right. So Central might have a few complaints about that, but he was tackled once, got up and had a second go. But even so, they were pretty scrambled there, Central, as a result of that break from Joel Porter further up the field. And as they went wide, they probably might have scored over in the corner if the pass to Simon Williams had been a little bit further in front of him. But as it was, they've got over a play later anyway.
So let's keep an eye on this. Again, it was good ball from Porter. Been everywhere, hasn't he? Herman. Yeah, they've just been able to fall off him and he's just been able to barge and his strength has been able to do the rest. Just look at this. They've gone down low. Who was it over there? Just look for the man that may have fell off him. Was it Rowan Kelly? Might have been Kelly.
Yeah, that was very strange. He looked held for all money for me, so I don't know what the decision was there. But anyway, read it about it in the paper tomorrow, I suppose. And can I just say, Peter, not to alarm any Central fans that are watching this, but 61.
61. It's like we're at
59. Into the 50s, Pete.
It's like we're at, Western Suburbs Club having a bingo session.
Well, yeah,
59.
Yeah, 2 little ducks, all that. Well,
Quack, quack.
there might be some people at South Newcastle in the bingo today. just keeping an eye on the score. Well, you're 59 points away from salvation, so hope springs eternal.
That's it. Whilst there's life, there's hope. That's exactly what we're going through Central right now. It's not all doom and gloom, that's for sure. Doom and gloom, though, for the Rosellas. They've made an absolute mess. Talk about rugby league balls bouncing here, there and everywhere.
Well,
That sounds like something out of Romper Room.
dear, oh dear.
Remember the bouncing ball segment?
Oh, don't worry. I actually featured on Romper Room back in the day, so I know all about it. But that was a wicked bounce. Just went off the leg break there and spun past a lot of them. And one of those things. It's always very funny when it happens, not when it happens to your team.
So McNamara props it up. Gee, they're running with a bit of grunt, aren't they? But also they're tackling in numbers. This is Tufeo over the top for the defending premiers, going for the minor premiership. Come 80 today. So far, so good. Wilson takes a tackle there of Tafua. 20 metres out, centre of the field. Ryan goes himself from dummy half. 8 metres away. This is Delaney. This is Warboys. He's kicking for Boney, and he gets there. What a nice try to their winger. That was class with a capital CLASS. Let's have a look at that on the replay.
My word, I think we'll have a look at that twice. That was a beauty. The kick was perfect. And
Sign him up for the BDAFL.
Yeah, and Liam Boney just came flying through there. Right onto his chest was the kick. Not a worry in the world. And he had plenty of time to take it and fall over the line.
So we've still got 28 minutes in this match. 22-point ball game. Look at that. Pinpoint kick from Warboys. Richardson was just left looking at the try scorer.
Yeah, there's a few different pieces of skill needed to make that work. Warboys first had to spot that the winger, Callan Richardson, was in field. Then he's got to be good enough to find the kick. And Liam Boney's got to be good enough to catch it. So it all came together beautifully for them there.
And can they complete the puzzle through the conversion? Bamblett has cracked his own personal tally of 54 points for the season. Here this afternoon, they don't come much tougher than this. Right out on the Western touchline. Has he been looking at the Bar TV YouTube page? Because I'll tell you what, Brad Murray had a kick from here a few weeks ago, wasn't it? Over at Carl Oval from the right smack bang position.
Yeah, it's against Cessnock to win the game.
Yeah.
I've tried to forget it in the fortnight since and haven't been able to, Peter.
Well, this is Bamblett. If he can kick this, it's coming. It's coming. Wow. He's got it from the sideline. Tell you what, put that to Brad Murray's cracking practice.
Oh, it was a beauty. Dane Bamblett, that had a bit of the Jonathan Thurstons about it. Just brought it around with a bit of angle. Beautiful. And, well, Peter, 65 now the difference. I think it might be getting a bit away from them now. I think South, it's just starting to be a little bit, just a little bit far-fetched that South might make up the difference here.
20-point margin right here on Bar TV with 26 minutes remaining in this match. Central spring in their step, that's for sure, as they go through the middle of the ruck. Tafeo gets off him. Now this is the captain coach. Captain, of course, for the first year since Matt Lantry went across this season to coach the New South Wales Cup squad at the Newcastle Knights.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of Rowan Kelly. Plays the game very hard, and the sort of bloke who, as a captain and as a coach, leads, I guess, by example. Leads by doing what he does out there, carting it up hard, tackling hard, and putting his back into everything he does out there.
So Warboys, another massive torpedo-type bomb, causing a bit of havoc here for Smith. He's going to be in all sorts of trouble. He's not going to get back into the field of play, is he? Morton's chasing, and they've pushed him into touch and goal. What a tremendous passage of play there by the Butcher boys. Oh, the crowd love that.
Well, I know they're 20 points behind, but I think they've got the almighty on side today. Central, they've got the wicked bounces coming out left, right and centre. We had the one off the kick-off a moment ago, and all of a sudden, we've had another one there. Very bizarre.
This will make the highlights package.
I think there's something about this ground, Peter, because there was a game here that I called a few weeks back. As we look at the replay, there was a game here I called where they Central played Cessnock, and there were about half a dozen kicks in that game, kickoffs, that either went into touch or were dropped. So there's some funny things going here today. It might be thin air or something, I don't know. It's just like the Bermuda Triangle.
Well, Bowen and Morton, credit to them, because this is why they've got the ball back, because they were able to hurdle Smith into touch in goal.
Great run there from Rowan Kelly.
Shane Ryan goes into acting half. Away to French. Standing in the tackle here. Now he's been dropped onto his back. There from Knight. Away to Jerome Wilson. Within 2 metres out. Central looking good here. Delaney, he goes short. Can they offload? They're still going. They're not held. Now they are. It's the last tackle. Back to Ryan. He goes from dummy half. Tries to do an old Luke Prittis burrowing run. Came up empty-handed.
Goodness me, Luke Prittis, there's one. But
good old Panthers took them to the premiership in 2003. Who can forget that?
Oh, my word, one of the greats. But a good bit of play there on the right-hand side there by Central in the tackle before that, and they just couldn't quite get the ball away. They were one pass away from a try there. And Shane Ryan, well, I can see why he tried it on. But in the end, he might regret it because they did have the numbers to the right.
So this is Ginger Miggs, Callum Richardson. Look out for a Ginger in any squad. He'll fire them up, and he has.
Knock on.
Knock on here for Fafio here on the 20.
They've had the run of it the last few minutes, Central, haven't they? The game's just turned a little bit their way. I don't know if West are just clocking off a little bit, being a few points in front. But the last 5 minutes, Central have had all the ball and all the territory.
Another try here will be interesting. Definitely throw the cat amongst the good old Pigeons. We've still got 23 to go. And we've come here with a margin like this in previous seasons when they've been down by 20-odd and they've come back. This is the incident here, but he hasn't quite lost that ball there.
I didn't see much in that. But
no.
Obviously someone saw something.
Interesting. So the ball comes in. It comes out. They're on the attack. 30 metres away from the line. Live wire in Wharton. He's going sideways in that tackle before Herman allows him to play the ball back to Rowan Kelly. And the workhorse goes inside the 20-metre zone here of the Rosellas. 32 points to 12. They're on the attack again. Wilson, he gets the legs pumping. He takes them closer to the goal line by 5. It's still onto the left-hand side. Warboys cuts out one. Boney, oh, he was close to going in if he could handle the ball.
He could have caught that, made a cup of tea, let it brew, put a bit of sugar in, drunk it, and then put the ball down there.
And then watch the Bar TV replay.
Yeah, that's it.
And still score.
That's it. Liam Boney, well, he'll be regretting that.
Well, possibly.
Right into the bread basket, and it came out. Easy enough to do, but a bit of a sickener for Central, because if they'd scored that, suddenly they would have been a big chance.
Well, that's what pressure can do. Nervousness in a big match.
Walk in, ball in.
As they come out to the 10-metre line, the Rosellas, with 21 minutes remaining in their final premiership round of 2015. Newcastle Tooheys Cup Rugby League, live and well here for the Country Rugby League. And don't forget, if you're taking the coverage down in the Illawarra, your big grand final coming up in a few weeks' time as well at Wynn Stadium. This is Porter.
You're heading down to call that one, aren't you, Peter?
I think so. Wynn Stadium, always great to get down to the gong. Chris Bannerman down there, the CEO of the Illawarra, does a great job. Of course, Bar TV's been down there all year filming the games. Back to Porter. He's going to go high. Oh, good catch. Brilliant catch. by the Butcher boys at the back. This is Cale Bowen. Interesting stat. Now, you're not going to believe this, Morgan.
Try me.
Bowen comes from Bowen in Queensland.
There you go. No,
Would you have put your house on that?
I don't believe it.
And he's also the cousin of the good old Cowboys, Bowen, as well.
Is he really? There you go.
There's a double useless stat of the day.
There's a bit of rugby league pedigree in that family. Wasn't Matt Bowen a sensational player? We've got a bit of... this is a real early 2000s nostalgia we got going on here. Luke Prittis, Matt Bowen. Goodness me.
Yeah, you're walking it forward. Take it back to the line. No.
We can't forget the 97 grand final, though.
You know
Newcastle,
what?
the ticker tape parade. Were you there?
No, I wasn't there.
Where were you?
I was at the ticker tape parade in Cessnock. I wasn't at the game, but I actually watched it through. Bizarre you bring that up. I actually watched that replay through the week. I got a DVD of classic grand finals. Marvellous. Yeah, I watched 97. You always, however many times you watch it, you always notice something different.
You do. You absolute do. And Smith, he knows that he's just got to catch these balls every time he's underneath the high ones as they come out to the commentary edge. Not going further than Bamblett's shoulder. Ball pops out. Referee says play on. It's gone backwards. It's play on. Williams down the sideline. He's away. He's got support. Back to Richardson. He's running out of support. He may not need support. He's off. He's under the post. Try time for the Rosellas.
Yeah, a bit of high step in there from Callum Richardson. Ethan Cook came across. It was a good chase, but he was just going a bit too quick there, and a good bit of play. They might have had a bit of fortune to get away with the drop ball. There was a hit and knock on about it, and a few protests, but a very good bit of skill from there to get it wide. And, backs on the burst like that, they're hard to stop.
Well, he's been lurking all day. Callum Richardson, he wanted it, and he's got it. Let's take this free play from well down inside the Rosellas half. Let's play it from 15 metres out from their own line. Have a look at that.
I reckon they've dead set got away with one there.
Well, they've got away with it, but a beautiful flick pass, and look at him go, Williams. Great ball, great support, and Callum Richardson. He had a bit of work to do. He had to go with a bit of a skip and a trot. But he scores it right underneath the black dot here at the southern end of the park.
Yeah, it looked like a knock on for me, I must say, from Ryan Lamb. But from there, I mean, you've got to play the whistle, don't you? And it's one of those things. The referee, he's never going to change his mind. And from there, under the post they go, 36-12.
So the kicks are beauty. So Western Suburbs allowing the scoreboard to tick over by an extra 2. It's 38-12 right here on Bar TV.
This is a new service on Bar TV. We're fielding inquiries.
We love a new service. What are we fielding?
We're fielding inquiries from the crowd now based on our replays, which is good.
Was there any doubt in the crowd, Morgan?
No, I think they were looking for confirmation of an existing opinion.
And it came from the Jodie Harrison camp as well. She's brought her family along for the journey today. As Western Suburbs, well, their journey, their story becomes even more impressive this year. Minor Premiership, only 16 minutes away. As they pounce down that edge of the park on the eastern side of the field.
Forward pass there.
Tigers have demolished the Warriors by 50
Peter.
points to 16,
Peter.
Morgan. There goes your multi, gone out the window. You might have to try your luck at Keno.
She's outside.
Dear, oh dear. I tell you what, you will have people throwing things at the computer screen, reading out NRL scores over the air without any warning. There will be people who haven't watched that game who have got it taped for later tonight who will be furious.
You think they're coming after me?
Oh, they'll be coming after you, all right. Dear, oh dear.
Starting with you?
You got to give them a bit of warning.
Hold here. Hold with me. Hold with me.
But I haven't got a crowd effects, Mike. I haven't got a warning sign.
You've got to let them say, you've got to say something like, if you don't want to know the score, don't stop listening for a second. Yeah.
Well, I'll try it again. If you don't want to know the score in the NRL...
Oh, it's too late now.
This is Wilson. Standing in the tackle, big lump of a lad, more than 130 kilos there, heavier than the Sydney Harbour Bridge. Here's the kick into touch off McNamara, but it's gone forward, says Stair.
Well, there'll be an inquiry here. We're copying it from the crowd now.
Protest maybe?
Oh, protest. I think the problem might be that they've had a couple of line ball ones go against them. West's, there were a couple of close knock-on and forward passes calls that went against West's, and now we're pretty close one over there on the other side, and Central have had it given. So, yeah, I don't think the crowd are best pleased with referee Stair just at the moment.
Mate, they're doing the bins in front of us. Must be after the bus.
Oh, I think it's just because the mayor's here, Pete.
Halfway line. Maybe they're trying to tell her a few things. They want a new bin, you think. As they stick to the play, this is Smith. Good hands. Can they offload? They need to offload. Smith does well. It comes away to Petro. Not so well there. Ball's gone forward. No, touched by...
Yeah, it was touched by Carly Bowen, and he'll be grateful that he did, because if he hadn't, they were 2 on naught out on the left-hand side, so that was a very educated touch.
So 15 metres in. On the eastern touch line. Herman. Ball and all tackle there by Captain Kelly. Hurt him too. Maybe a bit of a cramp. Do you experience cramps at night?
I don't do enough exercise to do that.
Here it is. Here he is here, look. This is the shot. Speaking of having another shot, they're lining up here, the Rosellas. That's a nice tackle. We like that. Centre of the field. They go straight and hard towards the post, don't they? Only a metre or so away from the goal line. Back away now to Porter. Cuts out one to Smith. Smith. Turning it over to the Butcher boys right on their own goal line. So we're inside the last 13 minutes of Premiership Rounds 2015. The finals is on our doorstep. This is French. And just on the matter of finals, this is exactly where you're going to get your finals fix this year. Bar TV, the home of Newcastle Rugby League. And I hope you've enjoyed the season, because we've certainly enjoyed bringing the pictures and the colour and the excitement of this competition to wherever you might be watching around the country, indeed right across the globe on the World Wide Web. That's what technology can do. Maybe the technology's just blowing the light up on the roof.
Right, mate. You've got to have your wits about you here, because if the ball goes up onto the roof, it sounds like there's a cannon going off or something. So you've got to keep an eye out for a kick for touch, because if it happens unexpectedly, you jump 6 foot in the air.
As long as I'm not coming out of the canyon, that's okay. I'm sure.
It'd be a wonderful promotion for Grand Final Day, wouldn't it?
Set that up on Grand Final Day. I read that a mile away. We might be able to experiment with that.
Maybe we could get Super Hubert on board or someone like that.
As long as he brings his minties.
There you go.
Actually saw him the other night. He's going well at West's. He's doing a bit of work there. Back it comes down to the 10-metre line. 8 metres out. Here they come. Looking for a try. Wilson. He goes himself. Spinning, weaving, crashing over to score! Jerome Wilson. He scores next to the post. Well, the props from both sides.
Well,
they're loving it today.
Well, Peter, it's one of those very special days. I love when this happens. We've had 3 front rowers score today, and the pressure's on Sam Collins now. We could have a situation where the front rowers from both sides get across the line. This is the sort of day that ruins Mad Mondays. It was a big charge, though, notwithstanding that. It was a big charge from Jerome Wilson. He just bashed and barged and twisted and turned until he got over the line. And again, it's one of those things. Be ominous for if he's able to do that today.
Well, he's got everything in. Next week. The big show and go.
Well, look at that. They had to form a subcommittee to knock him over, and they still couldn't do it. There were 5 of them involved in that tackle.
And they couldn't agree.
Couldn't get there. Well, that's like most subcommittees. But yeah, you're quite right. They couldn't get him to ground. Great charge. And just to clarify for anyone watching at South's Leagues, the margin's now 20. It's about to be 18. So for Souths to qualify for the finals now, we need Wests. Let's just do some quick calculations. I think we need West to score 77 points in the last 11 minutes.
We'll get on that,
So
sportsbet.com.au or William Hill.
Yeah,
Even better.
I think it's starting to get away from them now.
Indeed. It is getting away from them, but it's not a matter of no next week. They're coming back. They're going to go and do it up at Cessnock to keep their season alive and their finals run. Can they knock off Cessnock in Cessnock? From a Cessnock boy, what do you think?
I think Cessnock have done a bit of a job of knocking off Cessnock in the last few weeks, so there's every chance. Certainly they beat them a few weeks ago here, so there's no reason why they can't, and they'll be confident, you would imagine. Central, notwithstanding today, should have a lot of confidence going into the semi-finals from the way they've been playing. They've beaten a lot of the teams that will be there with them, and there's no reason to think they can't. And I hope, I must say, I hope that the Central fans have turned out today, and you said there's probably about 1,500 of them. I hope that plenty of them make the trip up and make it a really big day up there with both sets of fans in the crowd.
One of our best grounds as well in local rugby league up there.
Hang on. What do you mean one of?
Oh, well, the best grounds.
I should think so.
Here they go. Ball's out the back.
One of our best grounds indeed.
Wilson. Away they go. Central think this is the best ground in the competition. Delaney falls over at the feet of Gordon.
Well, there's a big shout for offside there.
Ball comes out the back again. They're keeping alive. I actually noticed a photo when that ground up there opened up a few years ago. You were on the ground in the Maitland Mercury. Back there now. Here's the kick and then goal. Williams. He saves the day for the Rosellas. And you haven't changed a bit.
Well, I must have been asleep when that happened. I don't remember being out on the ground. I was there, though. I was there. It was that was in 2005 they opened that ground.
Yeah. Is that right?
Yeah.
This is night.
Yeah, it's a tremendous. It is a tremendous ground up there, and I think the players like it too. It's that the facilities are very modern. They've got a gym down there. They've got everything you'd want for a football team. So
the Asian Cup loves it as well.
Well, exactly right. If it's good enough for the Japanese national football team, it's good enough for us. That's what I reckon.
Surface is great. Curator's still in his job.
The only thing is, up in the commentary box, it's like a pressure cooker. They've usually got the air conditioner on at about 35, so I'd be wearing summer clothes up there next week if I were you, Pete.
I think you're going there. You better put on your little pair of shorts, get them out of the closet and get them on.
That's not in anyone's interests.
It's a story for another day. Back it comes now to Ale. He's down within 15 metres out. Hello to Morgan's family and your girlfriend listening in here today, watching our coverage. We had the honour to meet her last week. She's a she's a sports nut, and I suppose putting up with you got to be. In its good sense.
No, I understand. Yeah, you're quite right.
Thank you. Now, Tafeo. Down to the 10. Coming on 12 months now too, I understand from Facebook. 10 metres away from the goal line. Back it comes now to Petro. First date was Burger King. It's gone on from there. Whopper meal. It's been that ever since. Back to the right. Back to Porter. He goes himself. He finds Smith. Got a score. Richardson comes back in the infield and scores his second of the match.
Terrific bit of play that. That's the class of West when they really switch it on. That was terrific. They went wide. There was through a few sets of hands.
He turned it on.
And Richardson, he was always favourite to score from there. Good finisher and made the job a bit easier for the kicker as well.
6 to go. It's 42 to 18. Right here on the Bar TV scoreboard. Well, don't forget, folks, this is the place where you'll find your rugby league coverage over the next 4 weeks, right here on Bar TV.
So we're doing every game live during the finals. That's right, isn't it?
That's right.
Yep.
Matt Harris has just confirmed that. That is right. I hope that's right. Yes, that is right.
Yeah, first.
Well, you'd rather be live than delayed.
Yeah, that's right.
I'm sick of being delayed in life in general. This is the only time I can be live. Loving that.
No, it'll be good if you can't get to a game over the course of the finals, you can tune in live and watch it through your computer or your iPad or laptop or whatever it is on Bar TV, and it's a very good service for people who can't get to the games.
And guess what?
Try me.
Grand final day.
Ah, yes.
You coming along? We
I'll
need
be there.
you.
No, I'll be there.
Live streaming all day long. Interview after interview. Colour after colour.
Yep, I'll be there. 15 packets of lozenges and I'll be there. Fantastic. No, it'll be a good
Bring
day.
your suit.
Yeah, Which one?
Here's the kick. Look at that. Perfection.
Beautiful
Absolute perfection.
Well, I've gone past 40 here, Wests. A bit of the sting's gone out of the game in the past 10 minutes, which probably accounts for some of the nonsense we've been talking. But they've gone past the 40, and this would be very, very pleasing for Dean Botham because they've had a few little periods where they've dropped the ball, but they haven't switched off all day. And 44-18 is a pretty fair representation of what's gone on today. And they look very, very... Oh, here we go. Kick off. Hello.
Gone out on the full. Penalty halfway. So I think we should let everybody know what's happening next week.
Go on then.
If I can remember myself.
I would reckon that there will be Cessnock versus Central at Cessnock, and I'd reckon there might also be Lakes and Macquarie at Carl Oval.
Bingo. So they'll get
Sounds
the
all
bye,
right.
Wests, Lakes, and Macquarie, second and third, while Cessnock will face Central Newcastle in next week's sudden death showdown.
I reckon that Lakes and Macquarie game will be a blinder. It'll be a really good game. Lakes are a really dogged side that defend hard and they work hard in the forwards. Macquarie love to chuck it around. I reckon it'll be a really good contrast to styles. Very entertaining game.
Which one do you want to do? We'll work that out throughout the week.
Coin toss.
We'll have a coin toss to the 30-metre line.
Rock, paper, scissors, something like that. They're a chance of hitting 50 here, West.
That's for sure. This is Ale powering down inside the 20.
Yeah, back from reserve grade today, Jermaine Ale. He's had a few games in reserves. But he's
Cutting
back
it.
in the first grade side today.
Porter. Back to Petro. 10 metres out. 3 minutes to go on the clock. Clark. Colin Clark. Porter. Williams is in again, is he? Held up.
Well, there you go.
Well, he backed himself. That's confidence heading into the finals. The credit to the Butcher boys to hold him up. So that was the last two, I think, Morgan. So
So it's a handover.
handover, yeah.
Well, the 50 might be safe, but again, they just look dangerous with the ball, don't they, West? I mean, they were premiership favourites before this round. I think if there was a market, and mercifully there isn't, but if there was, I think they would have shortened significantly after this performance.
Well, it's probably the only grassroots rugby league competition in Australia at the moment that doesn't have a market. I understand the Group 21 down in the River Arena has a local market now. And so it's all happening as far as markets go. Not sure if that's a good thing or
Depends who you are, but it's certainly...
depends how much money you got on your app.
Yeah, well,
Here they
that's
go
right.
down the sideline. Look at them go.
good
They may
pass.
be able to put on a spectacle in front of their old boys here. Will Smith be able to put on even a more spectacle and push him in a touch?
Yeah, what about the pace from Kaylee Bowen? In the end, it didn't come to anything because the fullback was back there. But, geez, he got the legs pumping down the touchline there.
Oh,
very,
Bowen.
Very impressive burst.
Well, they love their bananas up in Bowen, and I'm sure growing up he's had an odd green banana, but I'm sure with that speed he's had more than green, he's had ripe bananas. With me? No.
Not really.
Morgan doesn't like bananas?
Not overly.
No. I was just going to organise a banana split for you. No? Don't like that? Doesn't like that?
More of a citrus man myself.
Too expensive. 15 metres out from the line.
Yeah, that's right. He's not made of money, can't afford bananas. Crikey.
Got to grow them in the backyard. Hope there's a bit of rain around. The way the water bills are going up. This is Richardson. Shoulder charge there from Williams. Good hands from Lamb, spinning it right to left, aren't they? Good tackle! The tackle of the match! Right there from Bowen. It's the Banana Man.
It's a beauty. He's absolutely rattled him. And you know it's a good tackle when a group of fans supporting a team getting done by 40 go up as one, and that was a ripper. And he's copped another one, Steve Gordon. I don't know what he's done over there, but that's 2 in a row that he's been absolutely belted.
Down the touchline. Showing aggression inside the last minute here. 55 seconds to go. Porter kicking. Where's Richardson? Can't quite come down with it, but he takes the tackle there of Liam Boney.
Wait, go.
So 41 seconds to go here on the Bar TV scoreboard. Western Suburbs 44 to 18. 30 seconds away from being minor premiers once more in the Newcastle Tooheys Cup competition. Ball's on the ground. Scooped up there by McNamara. Finished off there by Shillings.
Do you want a stat, Peter?
Yes,
want a stat?
You can give me a stat.
Yep. This is the second highest winning margin of the season.
Second highest.
There you go. Only Cessnock 52, South 18 has been higher for a winning margin this year. There you go. I thought it might have been.
And there's the siren. But we will get one last play in here before both teams head back to the sheds. What is it going to be? Will they go high to the air? You bet they can. You bet they will. Richardson's underneath it. He's lost the football. And it's an FFA goal if we were playing football, because Shane Ryan has just put it through into the back of the net.
It was a good hit.
That was a good net.
But
well, that's it, ladies and gentlemen. That's full time here in the Newcastle Tooheys Cup in the last premiership round of 2015. Western Suburbs minor premiers once more. They've been able to defeat Central by 44 points to 18.
yeah, as I said before, a pretty fair representation of the game. West, they had the better of it pretty much from the start. Central came back hard at them a couple of times, it must be said, but they didn't quite take their chances when they were trying to narrow the gap. And West, well, I think that's what you would call a very, very good tune-up before the semi-finals. The coach will be very pleased with the way they played today. He'll be pleased with the way they attacked. Their attack hasn't been their main strength this year, but it was very, very strong today. So I think Dean Botham's entitled to be very happy. As for Rowan Kelly, well, the side's had a bit of a touch-up today, but maybe it's not a bad thing for them. Maybe it just maybe a little bit of humility at this stage of the season isn't a bad thing, and it might make them work twice as hard at training in the lead up to next week.
And heading into next week, they're going to have Cruz Wilson back as well, and also Brett Jarrett, so there'll be a lot more firepower in the back row. So they need to turn it on against Cessnock, as it will be Southern Death up there next weekend in the first week of the real NRL final. So the schedule's set. West's minor premiers, they'll take the week off. Lakes will front Macquarie, so that'll be second spot playing third spot. And then, as we mentioned, Cessnock will face Central Newcastle in next week's Sudden Death Showground up there in your part of the world in beautiful downtown Cessnock.
Beautiful.
Heck not.
Walking distance. Oh, not walking distance, but it's not far from my place.
Not far from the racetrack.
No, it's not far away.
Okay, Morgan, we'll see you next week, and have a good week.
Looking forward to it, Peter. Thanks again for today. It's been an entertaining day in more ways than just the rugby league, I think it's fair to say.
We love it. Not just on the field, but off the field as well. All right, then, well, that wraps us up for the premiership rounds here on Bar TV, but we'll be back for the final series next weekend. Until then, bye for now on behalf of everybody here at Bar TV Sports.